Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be running through my Super Nintendo collection, which is fairly small, but some of the titles in there I think are pretty good. So we'll start off with the first game. This is the first game which actually came with, or bundled with, the SNES at the time, back in the early 1990s, and that is Super Mario World. This game actually sold over 20 million copies throughout the world, and it was the first appearance of Yoshi, the little dragon. Okay, the second game is Zombies from Konami. Now this game received a little bit of censorship throughout Europe and the UK, because in Europe and the UK it was known as Zombies, whereas in America it was known as Zombies Ate My Neighbours. Some of the characters inside the game as well were changed. There were chainsaw wielding maniacs. Now they were actually replaced by axe wielding lumberjacks. You could play this game as a one player or a two player, and so one could play as a boy, one could play as a girl. Now, the boy's name was Zake and the girl's name was Julie. Now the rarest weapon in this game was the flamethrower, which could only be found on level 22. So a little tip there, somewhere on level 22 is a flamethrower, and that's the only level you can get it on. Okay, the third game in my collection is NHL Hockey 94. If you can actually see, I'm not sure if the camera there is blurry, but fantastic condition, this box. Now this game was also subject to a little bit of censorship, as the National Hockey League and EA Sports removed fighting from the game. It was released in October 1993 in the USA, and in Europe 31st of March 1994. It's actually got 70 pieces of organ music from the ice hockey arenas around the NHL in America. Okay, next game in the collection is Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour. Now at the time, most of my mates who had a SNES had Super Tennis, which was a fantastic game. Now, I could borrow that game off them and go around the house, but I wanted my own tennis game. I didn't get Super Tennis, so I got Jimmy Connor's Tennis Tour. Now this game featured 16 tennis players, including Jimmy Connors, and there was like a 10-month tennis tour which included the four Grand Slam tournaments, along with other smaller ranking tournaments, i.e. Dubai and others. I presume maybe Forest Hills. I haven't actually played it for years. So. And there was a save game feature in this actual game, which featured an elaborate password system. Okay, next game in the collection is Bubsy the Bobcat, Close Encounters of the Fur Kind. Now, I'm not sure where the actual box for this is, but the cartridge only at the moment, and I've got the manual there. Now, this game was the first in a series of games featuring Bubsy the Bobcat. Busby then, but Bubsy the Bobcat. There was actually an animated TV series planned for this, but only a pilot was made. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, don't know. Do I like the game? It's okay, it's just another platform. There was better games out in the time, like on the Mega Drive there was Sonic the Hedgehog, of course, but Bubsy the Bobcat was one of those clones at the time in the early 90s. Incidentally, this was the only Bubsy game released in Japan, and it was actually known as, if I can put my Japanese on now, Yamaneko Bubsy no Deiboken. Cool. Okay, next game in the collection is Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now, Link to the Past is a prequel to the original Zelda on the NES. So, in this game, it's Link's quest is to rescue Princess Zelda, as he normally does, and to save Hyrule and defeat the evil Ganon. Fantastic game. Used to spend hours playing this game. Superb. Love it. Top down. It's like a top down game, but if you're into role playing game, Zelda, Thoroughly recommend this game on the SNES. Next game in the collection is Super Mario Kart, as I've got it on the screen behind me, of course. Now this is the third best-selling game on the SNES. It sold over 9 million copies worldwide. Now you can play as one of 8 playable characters, of course. My favourites on the game are Koopa Troopa, and I like Bowser as well. I use Koopa Troopa when playing the actual Grand Prix, and Bowser in the time trials. Over the years I've probably played the time trials more than the actual game itself, or the Grand Prix, because I like getting top scores and trying to beat my fastest time, etc. There's 8 race courses in all, and 20 tracks made up from those race courses. It's probably my favourite Super Mario Kart game from the entire series across all the platforms, from the Wii, the Wii U, etc. Even though they got better graphics, I always come back to this one, always think this one's the best. Some people say it hasn't aged well, but going back to the time trials, there's no better game really in the series for time trials. Okay, next game is another sports game, is Tecmo's Super NBA Basketball. This contains all 27 NBA teams based on 1991 to 92 season. It features players like basketball legends Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, etc, etc, etc. Now, I played the whole season of this, which lasted, I think it was 99 games in all. You play, I think there's 82 regular games, and then there's the first round of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, and then the NBA finals themselves. Took the best part of a year to play all those games, which was the 99 games. Myself and my girlfriend at the time, who now is Mrs. Bluebird Legend, we were playing this, to death, basically. Graphics aren't the best nowadays, not compared to like NBA 2K16, but every now and again I'll put this back on and have a little blast have a little match. Okay, next game is Super Smash TV. Now this was loosely based upon the Arnold Schwarzenegger film of 1997, The Running Man. It was actually set in a futuristic 1999. The game itself was released in 1991. I remember playing this in the arcade as well, and the pace and franticness of the game, just fantastic. My type of game, just blast the smithereens out of your enemies. It had some great catchphrases as well, like big prizes, big money, and I buy that for $1. Bingo, and total carnage. Superb game, sort of a shmup in an arena. If you can get your hands on this game, or ever get to play it on an emulator, etc., then thoroughly recommend this game. Okay, next game in the collection is Prince of Persia. This was released in 1992. The PC version was released in 1989. In all, there's around about 20 levels, and your mission is to fight your way through those levels against the bad guys. I think the boss at the end is the king, and you're there to rescue the princess. I've still got this game half in its cellophane, not sure if the camera can pick this up, but I've really looked after this game, and maybe I'll sell it one day, maybe I won't. Next game in the collection is Lemmings, which cart only, not sure where the box is for this. This is, of course, needs no introduction. It's got 20 levels. Controls on the SNES take a little getting used to, as it's easier to play on the PC versions because you've got the mouse, keyboard, etc. Also there's versions on the Amiga, versions on lots of different formats, of course. This game actually sold 15 million copies across all different platforms. Great game though, especially on the PC. It's alright on the SNES. Okay, next game in the collection is FIFA International Soccer. Now this was released in 1993, and it was the first football video game to have an official license from FIFA. The cover features David Platt England international at the time, and Piotr Swarecki, or Piotr Swarecki of Poland. So those guys are on the front. And the game itself featured 48 national teams and a team called EA All-Stars. I always preferred International Superstar Soccer, which my mates had, so I'd go around their house or they'd bring it around mine and we'd play it on there. But I'm glad I actually picked this up because it was, I think it's the first FIFA game, so that's FIFA. Don't play that much anymore, but it's there in the collection. Okay, next game in the collection is Star Wing, or as it was known in Japan and the USA, Star Fox. The game, as most people know, featured the Super Micro FX, or the Super FX microchip, which was supposed to revolutionise gaming at the time. It was there for a more fluid experience and to improve special effects, which were previously unavailable in home video games. It was a third-person shooter, which it was okay. It was fun for a while, but okay, I think most people were duped into this special FX chip at the time. It features, you know, some okay levels on there, but more of this sort of polygon type of shoot 'em up game. The main characters, of course, I think the four main characters, you had Star Fox, you had Pepe Hare, Slippy Toad, and Falco Lombardi. So, who's got a great name, really, Falco Lombardi. Next game in the collection is Donkey Kong Country, the first incarnation of the Donkey Kong Country series. It was released in late 1994, and as well as Donkey Kong, it features Diddy Kong, and they're on a mission to recover a stolen hoard of bananas from King K. Rool and his tribe of crazed reptilian Kremlings. The game itself featured superb graphics, and the music was excellent too. It also had inside this one a free CD Go Ape music, so I think you could play this along with the game if you had a CD player there with you. Okay, so next game in the collection is Pop and Twinbee. Now this was released in November 1993 in Europe. It's kind of a cutesy shoot 'em up, or shmup if you want to call them. It was never released in the USA, and it was the 6th game in the Pop and Twinbee series, or the Twinbee series I should say. It was okay. I'm not wasn't really a fan of the actual cutesy graphics. Some people are. It's got that sort of, you know, anime, manga sort of animation style. Pick it up, put it down, it's sort of 10-15 minutes. After that, you kind of get a bit bored of it. But that's Pop and Twinbee. Other games in the collection, I've got Street Fighter 2, of course, which every gamer should have. The actual cartridge itself, I can't actually find. I think it's in the attic somewhere, so I'm going to have to dig that out. But fantastic game. Anyone who owned the SNES at the time would really have Street Fighter 2, or most people did have Street Fighter 2. If you remember in one of my other videos when I went to the Cardiff Anime and Gaming Con, I played on Street Fighter 4 and basically got my ass kicked on that game. If they had this game in a tournament there, then I think I'd have fared a lot better. That's Street Fighter 2. Now that's pretty much the collection, which is quite a small collection. Small and humble, I should say. I've got a Super Scope as well, which is in the attic. But I'm looking for the game as well. It's dug away in the depths of my attic. So that's the collection. Now, I'll give you a top 3 or 4 games in the collection. I would have to say Smash TV, probably my favourite game. Love this game. Just total carnage, as the guy says in the actual game, the voiceover guy. Love it to bits. Love it in the arcade. Love it on the SNES. I'd have to say Super Mario Kart as well. Fantastic game. Love this game. probably my favourite incarnation of Super Mario Kart across any of the different platforms, or the Nintendo platforms. And then my third favourite would be, it's a bit of a choice this one, it's either going to be Zelda, Zombies, or Street Fighter 2. Love Zelda, love Zombies, love Street Fighter 2. Zelda, you could play that for hours and hours and hours, but I think I'm going to have to drop that one, so it's between Street Fighter 2 and Zombies. And I weigh these up now. Street Fighter 2, brilliant 2-player. Zombies, I think I'm going to have to pick Zombies, just because of the sort of the B-movie setting and the mummies, the ghouls and the characters. It's kind of unique, you know, you can get lots of different you know, beat 'em ups, etc. to fighting games. This, you could kind of class it in sort of an adventure platformy type game, but I'm going to have to go for Zombies, or as I'd like to call it, Zombies Are My Neighbours. So that's my top 3. Zombies, Super Mario Kart and Super Smash TV. Okay, so that completes my SNES gaming collection. Most of the games I think in the collection are classics for this particular system. If you're not already a subscriber, remember to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and hit the like button. So for now guys, that's it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.